and welcome to episode 8 of the Tottenham Way with Tottenham Hotspur. Today we take on Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hopefully we can pick up another win because it's 5th against 4th this afternoon. Can we leapfrog City back into those Champions League automatic qualification places? Let's have a look at some transfer activity because there has been some since we last been together, as well as those results. And I've had to hide what has happened, but we'll have a look at it all in a second. 3 loan deals to talk about first of all, as Takai has gone out on loan to Ipswich, Matthew Craig has gone to Doncaster, and Mason King has gone to the MK Dons. We have still got a couple of days left in the window, so things might change yet. And something tells me this one will not go down well with the Tottenham fans, the fact that Tomiyasu has joined us on a free transfer. Yeah, Japanese international, very experienced, has helped out with shirt sales, but that's pretty much, I think, all he's going to be doing for me. 2.5-star defender, fullback, can play as a wing-back, can play as a centre-half. So he has versatility in his game, but the fact that he used to play for Arsenal will be a no-no probably. But Fabio did bring me a new striker, and that is Gonzalo Ramos. He has joined us from Paris Saint-Germain for the rest of the season with an option to buy him at the end. Hasn't played a lot so far. 2-footed, fairly strong with both of them, which is great. Target forward, poacher, knows where the net is. 71 goals in 164 appearances so far in his career. 16 in 9 for Portugal as well. Good player. Looking forward to seeing how he works out. And then possibly the bargain of the century from Nottingham Forest, as we bought Nico Williams in for £4.5 million. It will eventually rise to about 14 million, which is about right. But I was like, well, that's a hell of a deal right up front. Wales international, right back, left back, full back, left and right as well. Got a bit of pace about him. Physical attributes are really good. Natural fitness is one of the standout ones as well. His work rate also stands out. Crossing and dribbling not too bad as well. We are going to probably have a little bit of a shake-up in the summer, I would expect, given we bought in so many defenders. Because the last man in the door is Diego Dalot. He has joined us from Manchester United on loan for the rest of the season with an option to buy him at the end. Played 20 times for Manchester United till leaving them. I was surprised they let him leave, to be brutally honest, given he played that much. But Fabio obviously saw something in him. Again, 2-footed, can play either side. Yeah, no-brainer really for me. Good player. Like him. But things have taken a bit of a turn since we beat West Ham last time around. We beat Benfica by 3-0. Good job, that one. Johnson, Richarlison and Solanke with the goals. Then we lost for the first time in a long time in the Premier League, as we lost 2-0 to Burnley. And then we were beaten in the San Siro by Inter Milan, which meant we ended up in the playoff round of the Champions League. And we'll have a look at who's in that in a second. And it's almost a who's who of European football as we go through this. So Ajax take on Liverpool, Benfica take on Manchester City, we take on Dortmund in the knockout round. Atalanta take on Arsenal, Galatasaray take on Eintracht Frankfurt, Union Saint-Gallon take on Ferencváros, Napoli take on Athletic Bilbao, Villarreal have the unenviable task of Paris Saint-Germain. As we finish the league phase in 11th place in the end, Real Madrid won the league phase, unbeaten as well. Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Sporting Lisbon, Inter, Barcelona and Newcastle sneaking in at the last minute to take 8th spot. So the 8 winners of our ties will go through to take on one of those. So it could be a reunion with Harry Kane coming down the line. One thing to mention, and to have a good laugh at, to be brutally honest, Chelsea finished 28th out of 36. Only the 2 wins for them in the league phase. They are the only English side not to qualify. Obviously Celtic, we kind of knew that they wouldn't qualify. No wins for them. Whoopsie. So as I mentioned earlier, it is 5th against 4th in the table today. Level on points, but goal difference separates us and Manchester City. Arsenal lead the way by 3 points at the top. Chelsea second, Aston Villa third on 46. Then comes Man City and us before Bournemouth have climbed into the top 6. Brentford have dropped away with 4 defeats in 5. West Ham have dropped to the bottom of the Premier League table, 6 points from safety now. Wolves have dropped to second from bottom because Burnley, after beating us, backed that up with another win. Because they have already played this weekend. Leeds United have also played already and are now the side in direct fire from resurgent Burnley. But it is 5th against 4th we worry about tonight. 8 o'clock kickoff for Tottenham versus Manchester City. It's not live, but it almost is. So here are the 2 starting lineups as Vicario starts in goal for us. Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, Palhinha, Gray, Sarr, Kudus, Simmons, with Dominic Solanke leading the line with the new arrivals waiting in the wings, including Dejan Kulusevski, who is back fit and ready to go. As Manchester City start with Donnarumma in goal, Dodo, Jones, Ake, Guardiola, Rodri, Silva, Foden, Trincao, Doku, with Haaland leading the line. And if you thought there was a team that didn't need improving, it was probably Manchester City, so they brought in Trincao. Let's see how we get on. We beat them earlier in the season. Can we do the double over Manchester City? We will find out in due course as the rain starts to come down at the end of January. Pep Guardiola makes his trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They have actually won here, which is more than we can say for us not beating them at the Etihad. They won here in the FA Cup last season? Yeah, last season, I'm going to go with, by a 1-0. So it wasn't exactly comfortable for Man City. But let's see how we get on tonight. Come on! There's not the quite new looks on them, because most of the signings haven't made it in yet. They've only been here for a couple of days, so it makes sense to play the players who've been playing well. Playing the ball wide, looking for Trincao. Looks for Dodo. Trying to get beyond his man. Will he find a ball into the centre? Will he find a ball into the centre? Manchester City knocking it around for fun, and Phil Foden finds Vicario, thankfully. I was starting to wonder whether the director of football thing was going to work or not, but it did eventually. Eventually, Fabio started making bids for people. Long live Fabio Paratici as our director of football. He will have left the club or be near enough gone by the time this video comes out. So we might replace him in game with his replacement, who's been announced today. But we'll see. As Sarr gets the shot away, it's deflected on Ake and in. Oh, Donnarumma, why haven't you saved that? I mean, I wasn't even expecting it to happen. Pap Sarr's had a pop shot and it's gone into the bottom corner. You don't expect it to from here. But it takes a massive deflect. Well, it's a header. It's a brilliant finish from Nathan Ake. Sign him up. And Tottenham lead Manchester City by a 1-0. It's happening again, boys. Cross into Romero. Good to have those two back together again. Mickey has played an awful lot this season. I'm aware of it. Believe me. Gray. Back into Pedro Porro. Up the line for Kudus. Got to get it in the box. Mohamed. Coming inside. Gets a shot away himself. Donnarumma, the busier goalkeeper of the two so far. Picking the ball out of his net. And then making a save from there. As Ake has got the ball at centre half. Plays it into Stones. So Guardiola's playing left back. Interesting. I thought he was a better centre half than a full back. But anyway, Trincao coming down the field. I do not argue with Pep Guardiola. I always say it about Pep Guardiola players when they come up for transfer. If Pep doesn't want you, then you ain't that good, as Phil Foden equalises for Manchester City. Too much space inside the penalty area. Just as I was bigging up his boss, he does that to me. Hopefully for Phil Foden it is going to be a very interesting 2026. I have no doubt he will have a lot of part to play in the World Cup. And yeah, just don't close him down, do we? Can't let a player of Phil Foden's quality turn in your box. Just asking for trouble. Gray gets us going again. We are looking to bring in, hopefully, a centre midfielder before the transfer window closes. We have some interest in some of our players. Whether they will be leaving or not, I haven't made my mind up. As Papsar, who is one of them, has a price on his head, and Xavi puts it over the bar. Pedro Porro with the ball. Back in to Romero. Cross into Van de Ven. Drive forward, Mickey, that's it. Try and take a few out of position if we can. Haaland hasn't seen anything of the ball so far. Destiny's coming down the field. Can he pick out a teammate? He can find Dominic Solanke near enough on the goal line. Saved by the goalkeeper. Paulinho will pick it up. Into Pedro Porro. Into Gray. On to Paulinho again. Sarr. That's it. Moving it round the penalty area. We've just got to be a bit more penetrating than that, boys. But we start again. Looking wide for Pedro Porro. Someone's got to make a run for him off the ball. There you go, Mohamed. Have that. Can he find a ball into the centre? Can he get beyond his man? He can't. Corner ball. Great. It's a little bit too tight for my liking, boys. That's it. Expand the play. As Pedro Porro whips the ball in front of goal, and Nathan Ake's done it again. Sign him up. I'm telling you. 2 goals for him in the first half is just a shame for him. They've been in his own net. I really don't care how they go in as long as they do. Own goal again. Own goal again. Own goal again. Ole, ole. Thank you very much indeed, Nathan. Ooh. Donnarumma picking up the ball from Ake. I'm interested to see what Nathan Ake does for the rest of the afternoon now. I'm going to have a look at his rating as well at half time if it doesn't pop up before then. Because I can't imagine it's going to be very high. Phil Foden looking for Haaland down the centre. Worried about him. There's the equalising goal. As Manchester City level it up. And I was thinking maybe we should mark Haaland, but he hadn't had that much of an impact on the game. He doesn't need to, does he? I know we've gone in tight on him, but Mickey van der Ven marked him out of the game earlier in the season. Not so tonight. So we're immediately going to deal with that because that keeps happening and it's really frustrating. Right, player instructions, out of possession, mark specific, and let's stick him in your back pocket again, Mickey. Please, thank you very much indeed. So what is he on? Nathan Ake, 6.1. He's on, okay. With 2 own goals, I was expecting it to be lower than that. I'll be brutally honest. Got to get beyond him. And he has got beyond him. He's got beyond Phil Foden. You've got to be careful. Guardiola with the challenge. Free kick. Ball going to roll across the goal line. Hey, 3 own goals. We'll take it. We'll just take the goal, ref. Okay? That's not how it works, unfortunately. As Pedro Porro has a free kick against his former club, incidentally. Might have a shot from here. Does have a shot from here. Hits the side netting. Just needed a bit more bend on it, didn't it? As that is half time, a cracking first half at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 2-2 at the break. Thanks to Nathan Ake, really. We haven't done an awful lot. So 3 shots on target, technically 5, if you count the goals. Because they won't count as a shot on target because you haven't been the one that does it. And he's gone off at half time. I'm not surprised. Ruben Diaz is on at the break as Doku gets beyond Pedro Porro. Now Paulinho coming across to do a challenge. And he picks up an injury. Comes off worse for wear. Is he alright? He's holding his knee, which is never a good sign for a player of 30. But he seems alright. No, he wants to come off. Sprained knee ligament. So he's definitely not alright. So we'll make a change right now. Let's get him out of there. Bentancur to come on in his place. We might take off Xavi as well. He's not really having an impact, is he? But we are going to bring on Dejan Kulusevski and swap those 2 around. Kulu's back, everybody. Pedro Porro might be the next player to come off for Diego Dalot. That's not a bad idea. No Jed Spence at the moment in the squad. Subject to a move to Bayern Munich if I sanction it. And that's the key word, if. If it's good, because we've got a Champions League to think about as well. We can't make that many changes. We've already bought in probably too many players to make a change to the squad. Bearing in mind, Kulu's got to go in because he's not part of the Champions League squad. Yeah, so it might be better to just stick with people we've got and then just kind of make the changes we have to make. But we'll see. As the ball goes wide to Kulusevski. Plays it low, going for a corner. As Mamouche comes on. Ball into the penalty area. You had to rise for it, boys. Nobody jumped. As Bentancur is the last man back. Everybody back inside the penalty area for Manchester City. Oh, and Solanke almost got the header in. John Stones beat him to it. Sa. No. Silly ball. That's right. Take your time. You can outpace Erling Haaland. I'd love to see that over 100 metres, by the way. Haaland against Van der Ven. Mickey will roast him. Second half hasn't sparked into life like the first half did. And when you go hammer and tongs for 45 minutes, it's hard to do it for 90. Which is why the substitutions are going to be important. As Pedro Porro finds Archie Gray. There's Pedro again. Playing it in. Can't find Kulusevski. I mean, he is there, Pedro. Just got to find him. So the ball goes into Kudus. Across the penalty area. Shoot, Dejan! Does. Maybe not next time. Good challenge from Archie Gray, though. Kudus with a shot. Fires it into the crowd. And we are, at this point, going to make another couple of changes. Because Pedro Porro is on a yellow. And he's looking pretty tired. So Diego Dalot coming on against Manchester City. That will go down well. And we are going to take off Dominic Solanke as well. And we're going to get Mr. Ramos into the game. And let's see what Gonzalo can do. If I'm being brutally honest. This team has been decimated by injuries for the last year or so. Obviously, really, James Maddison is the only one left on the treatment table that's going to be out for a prolonged period of time. So we've got one more sub to make. We've got 22 minutes left in this game. Is anybody going to find a winning goal? But it does mean he is lurking with intent. And I don't like it as Kulusevski brings down Mamouche. I mean, 10.5 for the dive, mate. That Phil Foden going off as well. Mamouche towards the back stick, looking for Haaland. On cue for Cairo with the save. Ball in to Kulusevski. Ramos onside. Can he finish it? Come on, Gonzalo. Oh, should have finished it. Should have buried that. Come on. Even maybe Richarlison would have finished that. He probably would have been offside, but he might have finished it. In towards Diaz. Looking long for Mamouche. You've got to be closer to him, Diego. It's not what we do here. Your Manchester United stuff is not going to be any good to you. As Nunez picks it up. I alienate half of my audience by saying things like that. But I don't care. Right, we've got about 15 minutes. Mohamed Kudus, your time is up. And it isn't going to be Brennan Johnson. I thought I'd put him on the bench, people. But he's not there. Okay. So it is going to be Richarlison. Might be a happy accident. It's the problem when you've got so many options. I mean, Ben Davies is on the bench. That was the one I thought I'd swapped out. But anyway, hasn't happened. Let's see what we can do in the final 12 minutes. It's been a bit cat and mouse in the second half, hasn't it? Other than Ramos's chance. So it looks like we are going to settle for a point, which isn't a bad point against Manchester City. No point is a bad point against this lot. But can we pinch all three? Not with play like that, but Trincao gives it back to us. Get it on the floor. Goodness me. Head tennis is not a game I enjoy watching. As Papsar takes over, Richarlison left in a heap. Can he pick out Ramos in the centre? Yes! Kulusevski puts it in at the back stick. I'd completely missed him coming in. But Dejan Kulusevski scores his first goal since his return. What a relief. Richarlison's down. Doesn't matter, the referee has played a great advantage. And in the 89th minute, for the first time today, a Tottenham player puts the ball in the back of the net. And Donnarumma will have his head in his hands. It's an undefendable ball, that sort of thing. Dalot has the ball. We have 7 minutes of added time. Richarlison is a passenger for the rest of it. He's going to have to stay out there. And Diego Dalot is going to take as much time as he's allowed. And Kulusevski is going to try and flick it on. Haaland is still lurking with intent. But let's just put it out of play. And we are going to change a few instructions to get us to the end of this. Let's waste a bit more time. And let's slow the game down. What will be a very big win for us. The double over Manchester City as well. It's happened a few times in recent times. We seem to be their bogey team. And we're about to have it ruined for us, folks. Because Haaland is just about to score. I have reported that bug already. And Manchester City have equalised in the 96th minute. But it flashes up on the side first. Oh, for goodness sake. We almost had them. I said Haaland would probably have another thing to say. Nobody jumps with him. Why? Can't give him a free header. Not in that position. He will punish you. Have we got a time for one more to finish this classic? To be fair, at 3-3, Haaland is going to try and get after it. How much longer are Manchester City going to be given? Not that much. As it finishes 3-3. We were almost there. To be fair, we pinched it in the 89th minute. And probably the draw is about the right result. Given that we got 2 own goals for us. Haaland getting 2 of his own. As another game between Tottenham and Manchester City has goals galore. So just to confirm the rest of the Premier League results for this Saturday afternoon. So Chelsea beat West Ham, Brighton beat Everton, Arsenal beat Leeds, Fulham beat Manchester United, Burnley beat Sunderland to jump up to 18th as we talked about earlier. With 3 games to be played on Sunday. Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace, Liverpool versus Newcastle, and Aston Villa take on Brentford. So we end the weekend where we started it, but we are going to finish it there as well. As Liverpool cannot catch us, but they can close the gap with a win on Sunday. Aston Villa can move to within 2 points of the top if they win. They've only lost 1 game so far this season. It's the draws that's costing them at this point. So we are going to get to the end of February next time around. So we'll take on Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. That's pretty much done at 4-0 to us. Away to Manchester United, at home to Newcastle, away to Everton in the FA Cup, away to Dortmund in the Champions League. And we'll come back for the visit of the old enemy from down the high road. North London versus South London as the Arsenal roll into town, and then we probably will take on that second leg of the Champions League depending on how the first leg goes. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.